Hey you guys, welcome back to our channel, the #1 place for people who love design, art and all things creative. You are watching Dantier and Balogh's channel, my name is Laszlo, and in this sketchbook tour video I want to guide you through 5 years of art and design sketchbooks in 10 minutes. Before we begin though, I feel like I must warn you, my sketchbooks are actual sketchbooks, and they are from a time before art and design became what we call social media content. So I never thought I'm going to show some of these pages to anyone really. What I'm trying to say here is some of these sketchbooks are ugly. Why sugarcoat it? Sketchbooks are not mini portfolios, they are supposed to be messy and rough, you know. More on that later. For now, let's go chronologically and open up a sketchbook from 2016. 2016 was the year I finished my illustration degree, and I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but as soon as I finished and looked around in the creative industries, I felt like my portfolio is nowhere near at the level which I would consider good enough. So I pretty much spent all of that summer just basically making a new portfolio, doing a bunch of new illustrations, while everyone else was watching the Euro 2016 football matches. Just like right now. How times don't change sometimes, eh? These are the sketches that inspired this little science dude drawing, jetpacking himself to outer space. Then I moved on to sketch out a bunch of street characters to put together one of the most complex illustrations I've ever done. This cityscape with the girl on the Vespa, kids chilling, a guy walking his dog. I really just wanted to see how far can I push the body count in one image with this one. Then I had this idea of drawing an interior bus scene, for which I made the initial thumbnails and some characters. Oh, and here's a decent enough sketch to suggest how it would have looked like in the end. But to tell you the truth, I've never actually finished this one. Instead of that, I started working on a bunch of these construction workers, which became this piece, a crazy, hectic mess of building something in London, in the rain. Some animal drawings, as well as character portrait practice, native headdresses. Oh, 2 more construction workers, then a film crew for something else. Then I got really into circus visuals for a bit. Looking back, it feels like all I did in 2016 is put a crazy amount of interesting looking characters together to build illustrations around them. This circus thing I also never got around to do. Except for these circus owls, I made these onto a pack of stickers. Then I went to ancient Greece. I am very much into antiquity and visuals inspired by history, so I wanted to create something mythological, which after some sketching ended up being this lion on the throne inspired by the Greek god Zeus. The rest never really went further, apart from this centaur and the griffin as a wall mural. But yeah, that's my point, these are just ideas really. And you know, I don't wanna cause drama and I don't wanna name names, but every time I see these social posts and videos, which are supposed to be sketchbook tours, when it's all filled with finely polished, finished, beautiful pieces of artworks, I feel like I can genuinely hear my old tutors and teachers echoing in my head and being like, "Good work, but where is the thought process? How did you get into this painting, Laszlo? Where are the roughs? I wanna see the roughs." I mean, maybe it is true, some artists are so good that everything they touch turns into gold and they don't have mistakes in their sketchbooks. But yeah, I'm not one of those people. And I think striving to be like that is just unnecessary pressure, which you don't need as an aspiring artist. Anyway, moving on. In 2017 I got my first proper illustration commission. A guy I knew from university wanted to self-publish his young adult fantasy book. This one. And he asked me to draw some images for it. These are the illustrations we ended up with, and in this other sketchbook, while there is literally nothing else I would call interesting, I got most of the original sketchwork for this project. Working in this loose way was part laziness and part deliberate, as I really started relying onto this style I just call 90s cartoon style, which my work did and still kinda do resemble, with all these thick, confident black lines and bold, simple color shading. Yeah, and the rest I can't even make sense of, so I'm not gonna bore you with it. Next! Now this is the big guns. I usually have a couple different sketchbooks running at any given time, but I tend to have a favorite one. And between 2018 and 2020, this grey one was my main book. Here are some herbs and spices which ended up looking like this and winning me a Young Creative Network award, not to brag. Then these are some character sketches for a commission which ended up looking like this. Some pattern work and... oh, this is interesting. This is the drawing of myself. Very distinct from my old website. Around 2018, I started to realize that you can't really be a successful creative unless you do put yourself out there, literally, and utilizing social media. So I did this little about the artist kinda thing. It's a long way away from taking the step to make YouTube videos, but in a way I kinda think that this was the first step into that direction. Some messing around. Ah, then Tintin. This one I developed into a final illustration. Ah, and these two as well. On the left it's Blondie hanging on the telephone. A piece I did for a competition which I didn't win. Then this mermaid with the escape artist, also for a competition which I also didn't win. Oh, and this captain on a burning ship. For a competition, which of course I have not won. Actually, let's just take a second. Let me just say that my opinion on illustration competition have changed quite a lot since I drew all these pieces. Illustration competitions, in my experience, rarely get you the exposure you're hoping for when you're entering them. I did a lot of these in the past. I even won some, but entering them or even winning them didn't magically make me a famous illustrator. So yeah, think twice before you make some free work for one of these competition kind of things. And think even harder if they want you to pay an entry fee for a competition, okay? Some random drawings, and as we're moving on, you can kinda see me switching gears from illustration to logo and graphic design work in this book. Lots of icon concepts, branding bits and bobs, some of them speculative, some of them real stuff. Oh, wait a sec, here's the first sketch for Lemon and Ginger, one of my favorite branding projects I've worked on. Funny that. Okay, you know what, that's done, let's move on to everyone's favorite year, the year 2020. I started this bulky old sketchbook last year and now it's my main ideation workhorse when it comes to anything creative, really. Of course, last year was the year we have started this channel as well, so in this book there is a lot of stuff you might recognize if you have been following us for a while. Besides early versions of YouTube video scripts, you would find the sketchworks for Hoplite Gymnasium, a logo project I have talked about last year, or these roughs for my Christmas logo. I think ever since I shifted to brand design from illustration, my sketchbooks got even messier and crazier as time went on as a result, but that's just the nature of the job. Oftentimes these days I would find myself working on something very simple, you know, typographic exercises, and sometimes I feel like I need to just quickly rough these out and test them out to see if an idea works or not. Here's some floral exploration for an icon I have designed last year. Oh, then this is pretty cool, some typographic exploration for someone's 50th birthday. This was quite an exercise for me, as typography and hand lettering is a job within itself, not my main area of expertise, but you know, I dabble into it. Then we have these more classic folky icon sketches for a national park, which ended up looking like this. I think this was for a competition, which I did not win. There are some sketches here which I did for YouTube videos. Here I was messing about with character design. I basically combined two different Star Wars characters to get something new. I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of video editing back then, but if you want to have a good laugh, I'll link the video here. Some other video related content here, like this Batman sketch which I developed into a movie poster. Oh, and here are the initial sketches for our Christmas themed iOS 14 icon pack. Gosh, last year I was busy. Yeah, since I'm still using this sketchbook, there is some unpublished stuff here which I can't talk about just yet, so let's skip these for now. Oh, and here are the plans for the prismatic postage branding project I have done recently. I made a video about that one if you wanna know more about that icon. Is that it? Oh no, before I forget. Here's the little one from the thumbnail. This is my little Grail Diary. This was a gift from Jacqueline a couple years ago actually, and I gotta say it's one of the coolest, nicest looking objects I own. In a weird way, I rarely actually use it because I really don't want to fill this out, you know? Like ever. I just want to carry this in my bag for the rest of my days and document, you know, my adventures. I got some copywriting exercises here and some very quick logo sketches I probably done on half a day long cross-country bus journeys which I used to take. I got loads more sketchbooks I could talk about, but I feel like we must hit the 10-minute mark around now, aren't we? Yeah. Usually there is a moral of the story kind of sections in my videos. I'm not sure I got one of those for this one. Ugly sketchbooks matter too. Or better yet, ugly sketchbook, beautiful final work. How about that as a takeaway? Guys, if you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to join our creative crew. We aim to give you 2 videos every week about illustration, graphics, interior design, architecture, all those cool things and everything in between. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed this one and I hope to see you this time next week. Bye!